Okay, so it's Thursday, and on Thursdays, we actually do like to do a little book review here and there. And today, the book in review is actually none other than Far So Foza, a memoir by Oyinkansola Fawehinmi. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Hello. Hi, guys. How are you
So I
doing?
told you earlier that I like your vibe. Very chill, very relaxed. No
I'm
stress.
trying out this rich auntie vibe.
Wow, okay, how's it going? How's it going for you?
It's a lot of billing.
There's a lot of billing,
Yeah.
all right. That's why it's rich in front of the auntie.
I do, right?
Amazing. So you have put together this book, and I think it's quite interesting because, I mean, when I say it's difficult, especially in this climate, to actually find young people putting out memoirs of themselves. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I think I'll start with, let's talk about you before the book, right? So what were you about? And then at what point did you come to the realization that, you know what, I need to document my life story?
So, I'm going to define who I am, right? My name is Fawehinmi Foza Oyinkansola.
Sorry, what's Forza?
So Forza is, I wrote about it in the book, but Forza is Fawehinmi Oyinkansola Adesola.
Oh, okay.
So basically, Forza means strength also. For me, I am a cultural architect. I'm a creator of wealth. I am focused on creating wealth for African creativity, African creators, and my part of doing that is entertainment law.
Okay.
So by training, I'm a lawyer and focused and specialized in entertainment law. I'm one of the best in the continent.
Speak it, girl.
Yeah.
Speak it.
So basically, I've spent the last 10 years of my life in entertainment. I've worked as a manager, worked as a PR person, worked as everything that has carried people's bags, and I just clocked 30 in February.
Oh, nice.
So for me, it was just like, I finished school like 19, got into university at 14.
Wow.
So it was like, for me, I was just like, all right, I'm always thrown into this leadership, into this trailblazing situation all my life. So it's like, I need to talk about it for me. So basically, that's who I am as a person and what I do.
Okay, amazing. So now, somewhere in the book, you actually did write your story. I think the chapter 1, right, Daughters of Patriots, and it speaks about, I think there's one that catches my eye is when the bubble burst, where you actually encapsulated the losing of your dad and how that literally changed a lot, right, when it comes to you. So can you throw more lights on that?
So my name is Fawehinmi, and if you know that, the first question they usually would ask you is, "Oh, are you related to?"
Yes,
and I'm always just like, yeah, but my dad was. I always had to, like, my dad was a military man, and he was quite senior in ranks, and he fought like the Civil War, all that and whatnot. So I grew up understanding that my dad was the guy.
Yeah.
So when I became more conscious, and the first thing everybody would say is, "Oh, are you related to this other guy?" It really used to piss me off. So that chapter was basically just dedicated to the kind of man my dad was, extremely special human being. And unfortunately, I lost him at the age of 11.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things I was angry about for the longest time was that I remember, like, before he died, he literally told me, I was like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to die. I'm never going to die." Because he was quite older and we're the last set of children. He was like, "Nah," he was so confident that he was never going to die.
Wow.
And in my mind, I was like, this guy is a superhero.
Yeah.
Then, like, a month later, he dies.
Oh, wow. A month later?
Yeah, and he dies without, like, putting his house in order because, he's a polygamy. He had, like, 2-3 wives and, there was no will.
Yeah.
And we're thrown into that. So I lived this bubble, where the night before he died, we're speaking. I was like, "Yeah, you have to get this generator, buy PS this, PS that." I spoke to her at 11, and by 7, there were like 5 people in the house saying, "Oh, your dad is dead."
Oh, wow. Wow.
And before 1 p.m., we were out of the house. Like, they came and took everything.
Whoa. Wow.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
So Bubble, that chapter basically just spoke about how your fortune turns, and what do you do with it? Do you wallow in that, or do you figure it out?
So what was your take?
I think for me, it was just how my mom responded. My mom was the ultimate baby girl. When I see like younger women, I feel like they're soft. My mom was the softest baby girl ever. Like, she never used to go to the market. Like, everything.
Everything was sorted.
Everything was like sorted. The only thing was like she just looked good. And she had 3 young kids, the eldest being 11, and that happened. And I saw my mom go from soft to like, she was putting like 7 jobs.
Wow.
You know, so for me, that was the inspiration. Like, all right, like I don't have to wallow in this. I just
Yeah.
take my situation and figure it out. So,
Figure it
yeah.
out. Amazing. So now moving to chapter 2, we're talking about the journey of Forza, right? So now the whole journey, let's talk about the broken pieces. What was that? So what's the Forza story?
So, I mean, it was, for me, it was like, I was already in secondary school before my dad died. I think it was in GS3 when he, you know, and at that point, I was dealing with a lot of things, right? Dealing with, you know, the body problem, you know, like, because I was very small and skinny. At that time, all my mates were like already in puberty, and I was just looking like everybody, like, what's going on? You know, so those things started adding, like, you know, then my dad died, then it came with a lot of rage and anger, you know, towards the family, towards the world, towards God. And I realized when I was writing this book that I never really, you know, treated those emotions. So those pieces just came one by one, and created this image. And Foza became like an escape route, right? For me dealing with what was actually happening. And people loved Foza. You know, Foza was this shouty, you know, be on the table, social person. So for me, it was just comfortable in that space.
So would you say it was like a sort of charade to what was really going on?
It started as that, you know, and it ended up now being this refined, you know, character, you know, and now like merging, now finding a way to balance with what the original person now is, you know. But Foza came from also the peer pressure of everybody had cool names and I didn't have. I was either DJ Skinny or DJ Spaghetti or some stuff like that. So, you know, my friend came up with the name. You know, I wrote about it in the book, and that's how the character Foza was born.
Okay, amazing. I think it's actually something very brave that you have done as a young lady, actually deciding to put this together, being so vulnerable to tell her story without any limitations or restrictions. So now what would you say is the ultimate story, the ultimate message you want to pass with this particular book?
I think it's the story of resilience, right? It's like tenacity and vision. For me, it's just basically like you're not too young to do anything. I almost didn't put out this book because everybody was like, what have you done? How old are you? Like, But then again, I'm like, who write these rules? Like, who says that?
I think we're on the same.
Yeah, like who says that you have to work 24 hours before you make money?
True.
Who says that you shouldn't take care of your mental? Who says you shouldn't be emotional? These are the things that I face, right? They're like, oh, as a woman, you're too emotional, you can't lead, you know. And I had feats of being the first female president, you know, first this, first that. I'm like, who's writing this rule? I really hate, like, you know, the rules that the social rules that we just put on ourselves. You know, I always follow everything that is legal. As a lawyer, you have to. But it's just like, for me, it's like, don't be conformed to the rules that don't fit you. We're in a new world, right? You write your own story. And I was just so confident. I was like, if this book flops, that's it. I did it.
You did it, right? It actually makes a whole lot of sense. Because you actually mentioned the fact that, I mean, we as Nigerians, we got to read a lot of self-help books, right? But written by foreigners who don't understand what it is to live right here in Nigeria and share our story. So it only makes sense that we have people like you writing books like this that people can actually learn from and literally, I mean, gather strength from. It makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you so much for being here. It was definitely amazing having you here. I wish you all the best with all, and the book will sell.
Amen.